And out went the lights. I am under the yellow umbrella.
We're going to start our Reader's Workshop by playing a game that you guys know really well called Pop It. And we're going to pop it with the book we read today. My name is Emma Sufal. I teach kindergarten at Think College Now Elementary School in Oakland, California. Today's lesson was a Reader's Workshop lesson on using pictures to figure out an unknown word. So I'm going to point to a picture, and you guys are going to help me by popping it. So let's start with a picture of a jar. Ooh, very good. Let's try car. Awesome job. We like to bookend the lessons with some sort of a phonics or a phonemic awareness game. And so we played Pop It, so they could just play the sound, the first sound that they heard when we talked about a picture. And it was just a little warm up for them, and also to know that they were gonna be using those pictures and first sounds in what we were gonna be doing. Let's pop it at chair. Most of my students are language learners. I think it's a lot about valuing what they bring in and where they come from. So I have students that come in, in their home they speak Spanish or Cambodian or Hmong or Mien, like so many wonderful languages, and really valuing and telling the parents that we value that too, that if you're talking with your child and reading with your child, it doesn't really matter what language you're doing that in. They're developing literacy and language skills. And then my job is to transfer those skills to English. So we've been practicing being super readers. We've really worked on that. You guys are all super readers. And we thought about what superhero we are when we're a super reader. So can you quietly whisper to your partner, what superhero do you want to be?
I want to be Spider-Man.
And then we talked about how we've been using our superpowers to become super readers, and that today they were going to learn a new superpower. Just like superheroes, if we come to a word that's tricky or our book is hard, we can activate all of our powers. We might need one more power. Okay, you ready to learn what that power is?
Yes.
All right. The power that we are going to learn today, it's called picture power. Can we say picture power?
Picture power.
And I'm going to put picture power up on the chart. The learning goal would be that the children were able to use a picture to figure out an unknown word, or that they would be able to use the picture and a first sound to determine an unknown word in their book. In the garden. We began by doing a shared reading with a book called In the Garden, and we talked a little bit about the title and what we might read about in the book, and then we opened it up and we began reading the sight words together until we came to an unknown word, which was actually covered up. I covered up the picture right here too. Oh my gosh. Some friends are thinking that it's butterfly, and maybe that's because I didn't cover up the picture well enough. You are already using your picture power. When I turn it over, there's a butterfly there. So my guess is that that word's gonna be butterfly. I'm gonna look and check to see if I'm right. Look at that, it starts with the b. So let's read it together. Look at the butterfly. Ooh. With Common Core, children should be reading and analyzing text from the time they enter school. That means that they have an interest in books, that they're able to see what is in a book. They can read certain levels of text and understand pictures and understand concepts and have conversations about them. What is that letter? That's a C. What sound does the C make? Oh, just like caterpillar. I think we figured it out with our picture power. Let's read it together. Look at the caterpillar. After that mini lesson, they go into their independent reading time. So we're gonna go back to back with our partner when I say so. And we're gonna use all our superpowers to read the books in our book basket. So I want everyone to stand up, find your book baskets, and let's find our spots. The majority of workshop is them being in reading time, where they're reading independently and then they're reading as a partnership. It takes a lot of practice for students to be able to manage themselves independently. We introduced the partnership method of here's your partner, this is where you and your partner go. We talked about independent reading or private reading means you're going to turn back to back. And this is when you're working on learning and reading and, you know, growing your reading muscles. What do you think that might be? Flags. Good job with your picture power. So when I walk around and I confer with students, I'm taking notes to see if they have started to understand that learning goal.
1st of July.
High five. What great reading you're doing. So Brian, I think that what we're going to do is we're going to try and do a level B and see if you can do that. However, Reader's Workshop, it's very spiraling. So a lot of it we continue to do every day, every day. Can you show me your pointing power? Remember that word is a sight word? Do you remember what word that is? Like. I like. Ooh, very good. I'm acknowledging that not all students are going to hit a learning target at the end of each lesson. Some of them will. Some of them are going to hear it, immediately use it in their reading. And some of them might use it 2 months from now. And some of them might have already been using that. For me, it's going around assessing where each student is at their own level, and then I can make targeted groups from there as well. So we're about to change to partner reading, and before we turn with our partner, I want to tell you that you might need to help your partner with the first sound of their picture. You can help them pop the word just like we did in the beginning. When you are reading with your partner, you want to be side to side. And when you're sitting side to side, that's how you're helping. And how can you be a good partner? We've looked a lot at that of what does it mean to be a good partner.
The fifth one said, isn't Halloween fun? Then woo with the wind. We are here. We are here.
Very good. Now, can you guys go on a snap word hunt, a sight word hunt, and find the word we? Oh, you found it. Anything to help their partner notice those words and notice the pictures and get better at reading the books. I think my role in that is to remind them, oh, you have this strategy. Why don't you try that strategy? And then they do it. Victoria, can you show her where you saw it? That's really being a good partner, Victoria. Can you guys try and find more sight words that way?
Who is under the yellow umbrella?
They are talking about books with their partners. They are decoding words together. They're using phonics. They're using pictures to try and understand words. They're understanding the relationship between text and pictures and between text and their world. And also knowing that they're 5 years old or they're 6 years old and they want to have fun and they want to be silly and they, want a little witch finger on their hand to point to things. That's such a little thing, but it makes them feel so powerful to have that little pointer on their hand to go through. Then we came back to the carpet for a share. And now, boys and girls, we're going to put our book baskets away quietly and carefully and come back to our spots. We're constantly changing and evolving our structures and our, teaching styles and our methods and our systems to work with our kids. Different developmentally appropriate techniques. How can we do all of this to lift up our students and continue learning that? I saw so many readers helping each other, especially with their partners. So if you were being a really helpful partner, like Batman and Robin, give yourself a pat on the back for being a really great partner. It's really starting that from day one. Reading is something we do for enjoyment. It's something we learn. Why do we want to learn? How can we learn? I just think there's a lot of things we do to make it fun and to make it developmentally appropriate so that they can enjoy this and they can be pumped about going through school and being scholars and being part of this educational world.